The 49ers just got an explosive report I can't wait to tell you about. Plus, they actually got a second explosive report that I don't want to tell you about, but I will later in the video. We'll get to all of that later, starting with good news, ending with bad news. Let's get to the good news in just a second. Hit subscribe if you're looking for 49ers content like this. Appreciate all of you guys so massively. Really been fun to read your guys' comments and see what you guys think about the Niners heading home for the Arizona Cardinals game. And that's where I start my question today. What's your score prediction for the San Francisco 49ers? Let's assume Mac Jones is your starting quarterback, because that's kind of how it looks like it's going to be. You're going up against a tough defensive line. We'll kind of break some of that down in tomorrow's video. Shout out, I'm doing something a little different there that I think you're going to like, so make sure you come back tomorrow for that. But what do you guys think the score prediction is going to be for the 49ers? I've got them in a similar range to what I had them last week, where I think they're going to be scoring in that 17-24 range, and I think that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be just shy of that, of what the 49ers complete. I think the 49ers are going to win this game. We deserve one, and there's a lot of thought that I've put into that, but as far as I'm concerned, I'd say it's somewhere around that 24-21 kind of range. That's where I'm at. It won't actually be 21 because I don't see them hitting 3 touchdowns and no field goals, because I don't think they're going to be able to get after us in the red zone. But that being said, they do have some red zone threat with Kyler and his legs. We'll get into all of that kind of stuff in tomorrow's video, so come back for that. But I am curious. Let's get to, I am curious what you guys think, so let me know. But I want to get to the first report. This is an explosive report. Look at this. A bold statement coming from a bold man, Patrick Willis. For people my age, I imagine you're with me that Patrick Willis is like the gold standard for a linebacker, right? I mean, that's how it feels for me. Let me know if you feel differently. But powerful, cerebral, as John Lynch just said yesterday, arriving with bad intentions. Like, there's a lot to love about Patrick Willis. He deserved to be in the fame, and he's in the Hall. Good for him. It was actually really cool. I say Hall of Fame. It was really cool. My wife and I were actually at the game last year against the Arizona Cardinals when they did that Hall of Fame induction celebration, which was really special too. So, we should have done right by him and won that game, but that's a conversation for another day. I digress. Listen to what Patrick Willis said. A bold statement about the 49ers linebacking core. The 49ers have had some dogs at linebackers over the year. To have one of the best in the game right now, which I think he's best in the world, but we'll keep going, lining up next to a backer who's leveling up every snap. Sheesh, that's special. Maybe it's too early, but y'all, talk to me. What are you seeing? Let me know in the comments if you agree with him, but I'm 100% with him. I'm seeing D. Winters stepping up. I love this phrase that he uses, leveling up every single day. Love that. Every single snap, excuse me. Well, Steven Perello wrote a fantastic article about this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I want to give him credit where credit is due. You should check out his article at Niner Noise. But here's what he had to say. If there's one thing the San Francisco 49ers have been blessed with in recent memory, it's been stellar linebacker play. From Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman to Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, San Francisco has often employed arguably the best linebacker duos in the NFL. That's how I feel. It's a culture. We have a linebacking culture. However, an injury-plagued 2024 campaign limited Greenlaw to just 2 games, and in March, Warner's running mate bolted to the Denver Broncos, signing a relatively hefty 3-year, $31.5 million deal, opening up a void in the middle of San Francisco's defense, which, if we wanted to get really nuanced, right now, Dre Greenlaw not going to play for the Broncos for the 3rd week in a row. Did not play in preseason, will not play in any of the actual regular season games so far this season. And I'm just thinking, what would it have been like had we kept Dre Greenlaw, paid good money for him? And don't get me wrong, I love Dre Greenlaw. I would love to have him back. But D. Winters stepping in to help out while Dre Greenlaw is injured is not the same as D. Winters going all offseason knowing it's his job. Knowing he can earn it, knowing it's his if he wants it. That is a completely different mindset. And I really do believe what we're seeing out of D. Winters, what we're seeing out of D. Winters right now is because Dre Greenlaw left to the Broncos. I really firmly believe that. Could he have stepped it up and continued to grow? Of course. But Fred Warner said it himself. The guy needs snaps. He needs time. He needs experience. And he got that experience in OTAs. He got that experience in training camp, and he's getting it in the NFL, and he's showing up well right now. The next thing he said, While linebacker has become a devalued position over the league, its importance in Saleh's scheme cannot be overstated. Saleh relies on athletic linebackers with speed and coverage chops. However, the smaller players he favors also have a lot of responsibility in the run game and the defensive line one gapping and aggressively charging upfield on every play. That makes linebacker play exceedingly important, and the defense could falter greatly without exceptional performance from this unit. Through 2 weeks, the defense has been integral to both victories, 100%. With the play of Fred Warner and D. Winters being key to success. It's Winters who has been the true pleasant surprise this season. After winning the training camp battle, the third-year man ranks 13th in the league in PFF defensive grades at 78.5. Warner, of course, ranks first with a stellar 93.2 mark. Winters has fared particularly well in coverage, where he's allowed a paltry 4.1 yards per reception, which is basically like where he stands when they catch the ball, right? Anyway, his ability to quickly close on ball carriers has led him recording 9 stops plays that constitute failures for the offense, which ranks 5th among linebackers who played at least 80 snaps through the first 2 weeks. He has not fared as well in run stopping, which is where he has that 48.3 PFF grade. Not great right now. But fortunately, he has Warner by his side, who has been stellar in this facet as well, with an 87.6 mark that ranks 5th in the NFL among linebackers. With Warner mentoring Winters, he'll surely improve in this area as the season wears on. The last factor that should have fans feeling optimistic about the future of the linebacker position in the presence of Robert Saleh at the helm. Saleh molded Warner from a raw hybrid linebacker / safety in college to perhaps the best linebacker in the game, and also oversaw the transformations of Quincy Williams from a waiver wire cast-off to a first-team All-Pro selection, and Jamian Sherwood, who I was kind of hoping that the 49ers were going to move for, but I'll let that one go because D. Winters has been awesome, from a project safety to linebacker conversion to the NFL's third leading tackler in 2024 during his tenure as the New York Jets head coach. Massive. And this defense is for real. D. Winters is for real. Fred Warner is for real. No one's surprised that Fred Warner is for real. Of course. He shows up every single game. He fights through injuries, and he plays anyways. He has a broken ankle, and he just goes out there and looks like an all-pro talent. That's your Fred Warner. Even when he wasn't looking perfect last season, he was covering for other guys like Devondre Campbell. Quitter. Check out this stat. Rams, 49ers, and Packers are the only 3 defenses in the league this season that have a 40% plus pressure rate while blitzing on 25% or less of the opponent's dropbacks. And that's just linebacker play, obviously. They're involved in the blitzes, and that's part of it, right? But this defensive line, this very young defensive line, and mixed in with some veterans that were not names, like Kalia Davis, not names that like fly off the depth chart. And these guys are producing right now under Robert Saleh. So on that bottom right-hand corner, that's lots of pressure without much blitzing. And that's where you see the San Francisco 49ers there at 40% pressure rate, despite having less than 25% of the blitzing on opponents' dropbacks. That is pretty wild. Speaking of wild, I've got some injury updates for you, and this is where the next explosive report comes in. And it's not Kyle Juszczyk. We'll start there, though. Actually, we'll start with Jennings. Apologies. It does not appear that Juwan Jennings, Yetur Gross-Matos are taking part in today's practice. If Jennings' shoulder/ankle doesn't play Sunday, do San Francisco's receiver issues and Arizona's cornerback issues cancel each other out? My gut is to say no, because the 49ers have brought in a lot of different guys in the wide receiver room, and I'd like to believe that the 49ers have a plan to get other guys like Kendrick Bourne, Ricky Pearsall involved. So I don't want to believe that, but it is possible. And it's a fair question for sure. Brock Purdy practiced for the 3rd day in a row. Fantastic news from Nick Wagner. Doesn't mean he's going to play on Sunday, but it does mean that he is continually progressing in the right direction, and I would say he's a lock for the next week if he doesn't play Sunday. Knock on wood. Got to do it. Also not seen at the start of practice, Trent Williams, which he might do like a midway practice today. We don't know. Jordan Watkins, calf, we'll talk more about him in a second, and Spencer Burford, we'll talk about him as well. But first, Kyle Juszczyk, Saron Neal have received full clearance, as far as Matt Mayoko can tell, out of the concussion protocol, which is massive. Massive. We are desperately going to need Kyle Juszczyk in this game, based on the news I'm about to share with you right now, which is that wide receiver Jordan Watkins is an IR candidate. He's looking at 3 to 4 weeks out, still has not played an NFL snap. And Spencer Burford could require surgery. You guys, the offensive line situation is looking very, very ugly. And to make matters worse, Connor Colby got injured in practice yesterday, and he is also questionable, we just learned. Whew. So, I had a completely different feeling about the injury situation than I do right now. And I'm starting to feel a lot more concerned again about the injury situation going on in San Francisco. Let me know what you guys think, how you guys are processing the injury situation. Let me know how that affects the score predictions, because this offensive line is banged up bad. And you can survive without Jordan Watkins. You know, that's a rookie guy that you know isn't going to get a lot of snaps under Kyle Shanahan anyways. It's going to take him a while to get involved. Jacob Cowing's already out, and now we're looking at a nasty situation for this offensive line. Let me know in the comments, as always, what you guys think, but this is not setting up well heading into this game. Now, if Connor Colby can be healthy, man, that's fantastic. Maybe Trent Williams can be healthy as well, and they're going to play basically the same way that they did last week and use him as little as possible. I don't know. Maybe there's an update on that I missed. I did check through my feeds before I started recording this, but this is not great. This is not great, and I will tell you this. This might be a factor in whether or not Brock Purdy gets to play on Sunday, because if I'm Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and I just put crazy money in this guy, I cannot risk putting him out there against a good defensive line in what could be a very dangerous scenario. No offense, Mac Jones, but this is the part where that might actually be more where you earn your stars than last week, because he might be coming in and being asked to basically say, I know you're not a mobile quarterback, but I need you to take one for the team today. And you're going to go out there and make the best that you can with what you have. I'm really stinking thankful that we have Kyle Juszczyk back, as far as we can tell so far, because we are definitely going to need him. We're going to need him bad. We're going to need to be able to block blitz packages. We're going to need him for a lot. His flexibility and being able to do tight end responsibilities, we're going to need him for that too. So Kyle Juszczyk is a guy that I think is absolutely integral for this particular game. I'm really glad to see that he's trending towards starting now. That's huge news for me. But I am really concerned, because now we've got a weird roster situation where some things might happen with this roster that are not going to be comfortable. For example, if Brock Purdy can't play on Sunday, if he can't suit up, then Adrian Martinez gets put on the 53. And if Martinez gets put on the 53, who's making space? How are we getting these linemen in, right? So I'm a little concerned about how this is going to play out. This is looking like we're going to see IR designations to make space. Like, I feel like even if Jordan Watkins can go in 3 weeks, I wonder if they put him on IR because they need the space on the roster. I don't know. I mean, it's not setting up really well in that direction, in that situation. So we'll see how it all plays out. You never know. It could be okay, but I'm definitely feeling down on that particular thing. I still can't help myself but believe that the San Francisco 49ers can get this done. You go out there with the best guys you have. You go out there with everybody who's available, and you go out there to win. You play to win, right? You know what to do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, appreciate you guys, and hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Friday evening.